Good evening and welcome to the 8 p.m. news broadcast live on Eswatini TV. My name is Nondobe Gonzabgelwago and I am together with Zama Nzimanze. Let's take a look at tonight's headlines. Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini says accountants should always work with integrity as this will attract foreign investors. The DPM has applauded SWACA for ensuring that those perpetrating abuse are brought to the book. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku has challenged chiefs and traditional leaders to be overseers of the environment. The news. Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini says accounts should always work with integrity as this will attract foreign investors who will trust that their books will be in the right hands. The Premier said this during a graduation ceremony of 23 accountants organized by the Eswatini Institute of Accountants. The event was held at the Hilton Garden Inn Hotel in Mbabane.
Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini says the work of chartered accountants is very important because it plays a role in attracting foreign investors to the country. The Premier says what is important is that they do their work with integrity so investors can have confidence in their work. The Premier said this when he was represented by the Minister of Public Service, Kristen Jangase, during a graduation ceremony of 23 accountants under the Eswatini Institute of Accountants.
The accountancy profession as a whole deals with a wide range of issues, all of which hinge on integrity and accountability. Professional accountants are front runners when it comes to upholding the quality of financial reporting and providing the broader public with reliable and accurate financial information. This is a key component of our development agenda as it fits directly into our quest to sustainably grow the economy of Eswatini for the benefit of all those who live in it.
Minister of Finance Neil Reichenbach says cutting corners is not an option for chartered accountants.
Yes, one can get away with certain things, but in time the wheel is round. In time it catches up with you, and it is really just the best to walk that straight, tough road, because clients are obviously the one paying the bills and they're the ones asking for certain things. But if you walk a straight road in this game, one really does end up on top. And I've seen the full cycle. I've seen how this works from all the different angles.
Standard Bank Chief Executive Mvuselelo Fagutse says chartered accounting requires a lot of effort and commitment.
When he was raising concerns about some accountants that have become extremely creative, they take work from other accounting firms and they manufacture accounting. For every debit there is a credit. It's very simple. You can do anything in accounting. But we still need accountants that are true to the profession, that are backed by integrity. Because if you are, then you can go and defend your client's financial statements to the Revenue Authority when they challenge what you've audited.
The graduates are from different companies in the country and were awarded in 3 different fields. A total of 9 were ACCA affiliates, 2 passed the SICA examinations, while 12 were admitted chartered accountants. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosima Vimbela, Mbabane.
The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku has applauded SWACA for the role it has played in ensuring that any form of abuse is reported in Eswatini and that perpetrators are brought to the book. Masuku was speaking at Esbayani Lodge during SWACA's 30-year celebration.
The Southern Action Group Against Abuse, SWACA, celebrated 30 years of its existence in Eswatini. Over the years, the organization has changed ways of tackling abuse and gender issues in Eswatini, where many people who were previously oppressed and abused could now speak up. Organizations and sectors that deals with abuse also changed their mindset on abuse. The 30 years celebration was attended by the Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku, who was representing the Prime Minister, who hailed SWACA on being the voice of the voiceless.
Today we are celebrating 30 years of hard work 30 years of dedication of this extraordinary NGO. The work in service for the nation and touching the hearts of the most vulnerable, often ignored by many.
Swaga director Nonhlanhla Dlamini gave a brief background of where the organization is coming from the early 90s.
We recall how difficult it was as the Maswati felt the organization was interfering in their family issues. Today, that is no longer the case.
The UN representative Natalie Ndongose also sang the same tune praising Swaga for improving communication on abuse in Eswatini.
Swaga has played a pivotal role in ensuring its promulgation, though after a long and protracted period.
The Swaga chairperson Senzo Hlachwago then made an announcement that Swaga will no longer be known as Swaziland Action Group Against Abuse, but will now be known as Eswatini Action Group Against Abuse. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian Msiwi. It's by Lodge Matsapa.
The Deputy Prime Minister, Themba Masuku, has challenged chiefs and traditional leaders to be overseers of the environment and further ensure nature and environmental conservation. Masuku was speaking at the Happy Valley Hotel in Zulwini during the Demvelo Awards, which were hosted by the Ministry of Tourism.
It is the third time the Ministry of Tourism celebrates the Demvelo Awards, where those who have played a major role and an outstanding role in conserving the environment are awarded and celebrated. This includes companies, SMEs and individuals who, with various projects they are involved in, are honored. The event was attended by the Deputy Prime Minister, Themba Masuku, who challenged chiefs and traditional leaders to ensure that the nature and the environment is being conserved in their areas.
Must take full responsibility of managing that Eswatini nation land, because they are responsible. The people who cut the trees actually belong to chiefs at that level. So the chiefs shouldn't be quiet about it. They should be making noise. We shouldn't be pushing the responsibility solely to government. Government must be facilitating. But those chiefs, I believe, are responsible.
He says it is his wish that environment can be added as a subject in schools because it affects almost everyone. Eswatini Observer scoped the environmentally friendly media house, while Sifiso Nhlabatsi of the Eswatini Observer scoped the Environmental Journalist Award. Futhi Ndlovu and Nonhlanhla Tsabetse are among those who scooped the Recycling and Waste Management Awards, to name amongst a few. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian Msibi at the Happy Valley Zulwini.
The Kingdom of Eswatini is at the last stage of reviewing the National Population Policy. This was said by the Minister of Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Tambo Gina, when speaking about the importance of the first anniversary of the International Conference on Population and Development.
The Kingdom of Eswatini is at the last stage of the consultation program of the National Population Policy, which started in the past months in engaging people from all regions in the country. The Minister of Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Tambo Gina, says the Kingdom of Eswatini is determined to improve in areas of development, but there is still a lot of work to be done. The Minister also launched a teenage pregnancy dialogue, which will take place in the country, which aims to engage the youth on teenage pregnancy, which is one of the greatest threats towards ensuring harnessing demographic dividend.
Sekhona tinkinga letinkulu njengokuthi bomake nabebeleka noma labathethwele basishiya emhlabeni ngelizinga lesetulu kakhulu kunalamanye emave. Lenye inkinga lekhona ukuthi bantwana bayadalisana noma ke badala abantwana sebancane ma-teenagers bese konakala emathuba abo enlive line migomo yokuthi labo bantwana labonakalako bangabi bese basilahlekela.
The Nairobi summit was held last year in Kenya, whereby different countries met together to discuss ways in which they can accomplish sustainable development goals, such as eradicating gender-based violence, preventing maternal deaths, amongst others. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Temalang Dlamini with Muslim Kwanda and Babani.
Minister of Health Lizzie Ngosi says health is not confined to the absence of illness, but also speaks to issues of mental health. The minister said this during the commemoration of the International Mental Health Day, which was held at the National Psychiatric Center in Manzini.
Today being Thursday, the Kingdom of Eswatini was commemorating the International Mental Health Day. This was done under the theme Greater Investment, Greater Access. Minister of Health Lizzie Ngosi at an event held at the National Psychiatric Referral Hospital said mental health can affect anyone, including health workers.
Kwelulekwa nangabe azinga imithi nangabe adzinga imithi yakhe tifo lekahlala nato noma tifo letishafikako usitakala lapho.
World Health Organization representative at the event, Dr. Kevin Makatzange, says studies have shown that mental health was an issue for a lot of people during COVID-19.
Then this actually COVID pandemic has actually shown us most of those gaps. A lot of surveys that have been done in the African region have actually shown that due to COVID, due to loss of jobs, loss of loved ones, and a lot of issues around COVID, there are lots of people suffering from depression. Some actually have even attempted suicide, and some they've actually committed suicide. So there's a huge actually strain on people due to COVID, which is resulting in mental health issues. But as WHO, we are actually encouraging people that even in this situation, we need to take time to invest on mental health services.
As this was a day of not only talking about mental issues, but also distressing, nurses had a little surprise dance for the Minister of Health. Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela, Manzini.
Getting birth and death certificates as well as national identity cards might be made easier if things can go as the Ministry of Home Affairs wishes next year. This follows that the Minister of Home Affairs, Princess Lindiwe, told Parliament that they plan to go to all chiefdoms in the country next year to assist the public with getting these national documents.
The House of Assembly said today Mkiweni Member of Parliament Michael Masuku asked the Minister of Home Affairs Princess Lindiwe what the ministry was doing to assist the Maswati who queue for birth and death certificates as well as identity documents at Home Affairs offices are assisted swiftly. In her response, the minister said the ministry is not resting on its laurels but it is doing something on the matter.
Birth certificates marriages deaths akubeni bona nangesikhathi seCovid ngesikhathi nje nayi iCovid isekhona lelo current bekwendeka labashada bakhona kwenda laba dalwako bakhona kwendela certificate labafile bakhona kwendela certificate nangesikhathi nje sesimo siseme kabi kakhulu lebe kungakhoneki benama IDs kepha-ke nawo nyalo emva kwa-COVID baka-health sebasitshelile ukuthi kufuna kwenziwe njani nawo sekayakhokhwa.
Some members of parliament had supplementary questions to the minister on the issue to which she responded.
Etinkundleni kwemiswa kuthathwa kwetitifiketi lapho abantu bebakhona khona kusonzela basitakale uma akwati minister utawuvula nini kubonakala liningi kakhulu amalayini alaba bantu lebetifiketi ngoba uminister ngicabanga sifike isibe nabo lokho kubukela lesibe ukuthi kuyatalwa labantu kanti sisemuva ngithi nje ngiloko lengithi endeni bengichaza lokho ukuthi manje betele indlu noma ke live ukuthi nakabuka kungaba kunini la kungathi nje yena ngifisa kwakhe 2021 nini ngabe kwendekeni
litiko litimisele ngalokuthi lihambe liyele esiveni liye boshifu lapho khona sitangena khona ngashifu kuregister abantu labadzala kakhulu bonke nje labangarejisteki sititshele ukuthi vele sitayenda lemvolena sititshelile vele ukuthi umgomo wethu lomkhulu ngilowo futhi neshisakalo lesinayo ngileyo sidile ukuthi sihambe ngoba le outcry siyayibona ukuthi kuleyo labantu labadzala and lokutayisita kakhulu ukuthi vele siye le sibuke kushifa ukuthi amadini lo bese siyabhalisa so kusemgomweni wethu ukuthi kule minyaka lotaba at least kube khona lokwentekako ukuthi sihambe siye etikhulini lapho khona sitawubhalisa khona labantu labadzala siloka ka finance lokuye kube nenkinga nje lapho khona siniketa khona le certificate lokuye revenue nabangekho labaka revenue avele kukhuni asikhonde ukusebenza kahle edini so vele nje ngakusho ukuthi le revenue yona inhlitiyo yale nakuzana yalokuniketa le certificate singakakutholi lokho asikhona vele ukuqhubeka sesinikete certificate.
For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela, Parliament.
Minister of Health Lizi Ngosi says government plans to construct 6 clinics in all 4 regions of the country. The minister says government has applied for financial assistance and awaits a response. She said this in Parliament today.
When the House of Assembly continued with its business of the day, Mbolojeni Member of Parliament Jacob Siwela asked the Minister of Health Lizi Ngosi how far they have gone with implementing a promise made by her ministry in 2017 to construct clinics around the country. Minister Ngosi explained what her ministry is doing about the issue.
I-recommendation leya eqhamuka ngaleso sikhathi ukuthi until sisebenzise lokhu lesinako sikutilize fully asesime kwakhe. However kune-assessment lensha leyendiwe Mr Speaker leyendiwe kusukela ngayo 2017 yaphela ngabo-2018 ibuka ema-clinics la-high volume across the 4 regions. Sekunema-clinics ke la-identified langu-6 across the regions lafuna ukuthi a-renovate endiwe so that atokhona ikakhulu atokhona kubelekisa Mr Speaker lawo ma-clinics lawo sisafuna timali.
MPs had supplementary questions for the minister.
Speaker litiko lasinika lolusha ukuthi i-region no-region inkundla ngenkundla mangakatawakhiwa mina nje lekusimo Speaker Mbolojeni ikhona leli sifo siyakhiwe le kanzanga umphakathi athini ama-plans akhe nekwakha lama-clinic lakangibekise nje leyithi Mafucula uhamba almost 56 kilometers from Mafucula to stay yebelekisa ukuthi iplan yakhe ngamafucula ithini ngalawo make bakhona laba nalabantu bakhona e-clinic. Thank you Mr Speaker.
Njengoba in the past vele sibe nale nkinga yokuthi abe khona la khona ema-clinics asakhiwe ukhanze ukuthi akavulwa kokunye ngenxa yokuthi hulumende akaqashi kokunye ukhanza ukuthi mhlawumbe kulenza ukude emandi tibathi netihibe nje letithite letikhona ngicela nje lokuva Speaker lokuthi kuleti nkinga leto lebetikhona kulawa lakhiwe kukhona yini umehluko losowendekile eveni yabo ukuthi kule ma-clinics labe savela akhiwe hulumende wathi khanzasa yaleyo challenge yokuthi kude imali yokuqasha tisebenzi kude imali yokuwavula kube sekuthi manje ngasikhathi sa-COVID kwavela timadlana thide avuleka lamanye lawo ma-clinics sine-challenge yokuthi kule budget letako sekufuna siwabhajethele lama-clinics kanti maningi kwawona yiko lokhu lama-list aqhubeka a-revise ukuthi njalo nasekukhona lokhu adressiwe kukhishwe ku-list kwamanje ayikho indlela lengingathembisa ngayo ukuthi sitawukhona kwakha umafucula kutawukhona kwakhiwa nini ngoba nalabo high volume lengikhuluma ngabo akusiwe ema-clinics lamasha ngilakhona lanema-structures asamadzala kakhulu lasahohloka bantu sebanengi around the area abasawathole ama-services ngalokufanele asisusi kuloku lengikhuluma ngabo kulama-high volume besingasusi this structure except in one place Sacelile asathi usibata sinika ile imali. Kuyakube ngcono sithe sesade ukuthi imali ikhona itawuvela ngakuphi sesinema plans la concrete. Manje lokho ngikhuluma ngako kusengama plan nje kusetele imali ngema proposals kusetele imali.
Government made it a goal to see to it that people do not travel more than 8 kilometers to access health care. For Eswatini TV News, Temgos Mavimbela with Linton Kule, Parliament.
Minister of Education and Training, Lady Howard Mabuza, says government has hired 4 lecturers who worked at skill centers to continue educating students now that government has taken over the centers. Minister says those who have not been engaged by government will be paid their terminal benefits and let go. The colleges were privately owned but subverted by government until they closed down due to financial challenges.
Another question posed in Parliament was from Kiweni Member of Parliament Michael Masugu, who asked the Minister of Health what was happening with employees of vocational training centers who have not been paid their salaries since June. Minister of Education and Training Lady Howard said government was doing something to sort the issue.
Skill centers kube sekuri-engagewa 4 wema-employees on contract basis. But kuyaprocesswa ukuthi bagcine sebaqasheke permanently if baqualifya. Litiko-ke selibhalile lenta konke lokufanele ukuthi likwende lase liyafaka ka-public service khona batokhona ukuthi baqale baholeleke. Siyacabanga-ke ukuthi kumbele delay ibangwa sesiyacabangela ukuthi ibangwa ukuthi kumbe kunalo circular number 3 of 2018 lokwafreeza kuqashwa kwetisebenzi sekune process thile lokufuna ukuthi ihambele before kuqasheke. Sicabanga ukuthi kumbe kuleyo process Mr Speaker lele delay ukuthi bagcine sebasinike delay response ukuthi sikhona ukuthola ama-posts abo laba labangu-4 bese bayakhona kungena payroll.
MPs had supplementary questions to which the minister responded to.
Lama skill centers nje asho minister bakhethe 4. Lo 4 lotawuranisha le skill center yini. Labanye labaphumako batawendwa neka balahlekelwa bothishela lebafanele baphindze baqashwe ngoba batawuhamba bona baqashela labatsha. Ngilapha ngithemba kahle kulombuto wami.
Labantwana lebebabhadele batayithola i-refund. Laba labangabuyi laba lababuyako batawuqhubeka kule mali lebe bayibhadele yini noma sebatawulunywa inyongo.
Bayanakekeleka Mr Speaker. Laba lebe sebavele babhadalile kuyakhulunyiswana angeke benteleke phansi. Bese emthonganeni bakhuluma ngekuthi bakuta ukuthi lama skill centers atawuranwa ngilaba labayi-4 yini. Laba labayi-4 Mr Speaker sibathethe kulaba lebe bangakaqashwa nguhulumende. But otherwise we do have staff ma skill centers lebaqashwe lo TSC. Laba labangu-4 sibathethe ngoba we needed their skill ngala, their services ngala. Kusho ukuthi nje nguloko akhona ama-employees ahulumende lo 4 bese simthatha ngoba besimswela ukuthi abe khona ngala.
For Eswatini TV News, Temgos Mavimbela with Linton Kule, Parliament.
Eswatini, the 8 p.m. news continues after the break.
It's here with more days and bigger deals. It's the Spar Big Sale. Here for you with everything you need at the prices you want. Like Spar IQF mixed chicken portions for only $119.99 and Spar 2-ply toilet rolls 18s for just $64.99. 25 to 28 November only. The Spar Big Sale, exclusive to our Spar Rewards customers.
It's the season of great deals at Build It. Get a 20-litre Build It walls and ceilings paint, including a free paint roller set for $4.99. or a 20-litre Build It acrylic roof paint for $599. And a Black & Decker 710-watt angle grinder or a Black & Decker 500-watt impact drill for $299 each. Promo ends 18 December 2020. Build it.
Don't miss out on our fantastic Black Friday deals now on. They are bigger and better than ever before. Hurry in store today. Bradlow's, quality and style you can afford.
It's here with more days and bigger deals. It's the Spar Big Sale. Here for you with everything you need at the prices you want. Like Nescafe Classic for only $49.99 and 1.5-litre Coke Regular. Buy two for just 21 Emalangeni. 25 to 28 November only. The Spar Big Sale, exclusive to our Spar Rewards customers.
Welcome back to the news at 8. In today's sports news, Eswatini Cycling Association President Slangun Hlabati says the upcoming Mandla Simelane race to take place this coming weekend in memory of the late Mandla Simelane, who was the association's former president, will play a major role in the selection of cyclists who will represent the country in next year's African Championships. The race will take place at Stegi on Sunday.
Stegi will be hosting the Mandla Simelane race in memory of the late Mandla Simelane, who was the former president of the Cycling Association. Association's president Slangun Hlabati says the race will play a major role in selecting cyclists who will be representing the country in next year's African Championships.
This race will be an eye-opener for us as far as preparations for next year. We are aware that there's an African Champs coming up probably in March or April, and this will definitely assist us in ascertaining the quality that we have in the country for us to have the best squad for future events for next year. We are ready for Sunday. We want to invite every cyclist, invite parents to bring their kids, because we have a kids zone on the day. So we expect fireworks on Sunday, but the competition hasn't been there for the whole year. I know cyclists will be competing fair and fairly, and we appreciate the help we're getting from the media, the sponsors, and everybody who has come in to play at large.
Hlabati also urged all cyclists to comply with all COVID-19 regulations as they head for the race.
The Sunday event is first in the COVID era, so all riders are itching to ride on Sunday. So we expect quite a number of riders that must not exceed 300 per the whole event. We have three categories which will have 100 in each, just to cater for the numbers that are in the country's regulations.
This race will be the first on this year's calendar for the Cycling Association after failing to host any tournament from March this year due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mbabane.
And that is how we come to the end of our news bulletin. But before we go, let's take a quick recap of the headlines. Prime Minister Ambrose Dlamini says accountants should always work with integrity as this will attract foreign investors. The DPM has applauded SWACA for ensuring that those perpetrating abuse are brought to the book. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku has challenged chiefs and traditional leaders to be overseers of the environment. Eswatini, that is all the news we had for you tonight. Up next is the weather forecast. Good night and God bless.